The modern football game landscape is kinda depressing. Year after year, video game football lovers get a single Madden game, and that's it. EA's lockdown of the NFL license mean games like Blitz and the 2K series have ceased to exist, which makes the genre wildly uninteresting for the most part. But every once in a while, EA themselves have tried to mix up the formula, the most recent attempt being their own take on the Blitz franchise. The game I'm looking at today, NFL Street, was a much earlier attempt, one that eventually spawned a short-lived franchise. At the time, Blitz was beginning to move in a new, more simulation-esque direction with The League, choosing to become the edgy alternative to Madden, and EA decided to fill the gap that the more arcadey old-school Blitz had left in the video game landscape. Somewhat unsurprisingly, given the history of EA's other Street franchise, NBA Street, NFL Street isn't just a cool idea, but also really fun to actually play. Much like the other arcade-style football games, Street throws basically any and all the rules out the window. If there's something the game doesn't want you to be able to do, you just can't do it. There's no referee system here to tell you that you did something wrong and are going to be penalized for it. If you can perform an action in Street, it's legal. And that definitely makes the game easier to grasp. The number of plays that you have to choose from is simplified, and it's extremely clear what all of them represent, which means the game is a whole lot easier to just pick up and play. While it might have quite a bit to digest still if you've never really engaged with the game of football, I think it's much easier to conquer the basics here than it is in something like Madden. But the game's freewheeling style is also sometimes a detriment. Whereas NBA Street felt like the style of its players and the banter was well done and appropriate to what was happening on the screen, NFL Street's attempt at using the same aesthetic can be a bit stilted. It feels out of place. It almost feels like they just pulled the style of NBA Street and transplanted it here without any major modifications, which really just doesn't feel right. There's also not a ton to do here. Now, there's certainly enough. There's a relatively basic campaign mode that complements the standard quick play mode quite nicely, but it's obviously nowhere near the slew of modes and ways to play that a more modern football game might offer you. But despite a pretty basic level of features and aesthetics, NFL Street is a great change of pace, especially now. While the core play of football has evolved a bit since 2004, NFL Street is still every bit as fun and relevant as it was then, breaking up the monotony of the annual Madden grind and offering something every bit as fresh now as it was 12 years ago. Every Monday, I look at a game that's at least 10 years old, what I would consider to be retro, and I see if it's held up today. If you like that idea, be sure to subscribe so you can see the latest videos. If you like this video in particular, be sure to hit that like button, and thanks for watching.